We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, among these, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But not all American citizens enjoy these freedoms. The community I will be speaking of today is the LGBTQ community, also known as the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transsexual, and queer community. I propose that we amend the Constitution to include in the Anti-Discrimination Amendment that sexual orientation and gender preference be protected rights. I implore you to ask yourselves, what have you done to help with this cause? Many organizations, such as the American Civil Liberties Union, also known as the ACLU, have done work to progress the rights of the LGBT community. Without government intervention, there will be no laws that solidify the rights that these people deserve. As a part of the LGBT community, I know firsthand that this is not a choice. Being lesbian, gay, or bisexual is a feeling that we have. It is a part of who we are. There has been no good government intervention to help protect from discrimination based on who I am as a person. But there have been government intervention that arrest, that threaten, and that harm the livelihood of this community. The Human Rights Watch organization reports abuses such as killings, arrest, and discrimination based on the fact that people identify by different genders. I ask that if you see something, you say something. If you see an abuse or an attack happening and you don't say anything, you are just as bad as the abuser. I implore you, please speak up. Whether you support the LGBT community or not, injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. As we saw in history with the Civil Rights Movement, African Americans were discriminated by the color of their skin, a characteristic that they cannot change and they cannot control. Although the African American community and the LGBT community are not the same, the discriminations are just as wrong. Many Supreme Court decisions, laws, and acts were taken in order to give African Americans the rights that they endow today. And these same actions need to be taken for our LGBTQ community. Without a permanent law, the LGBT community will continue to be treated as second-class citizens. Did you know that in the state of Alabama, there is a law that prohibits the LGBT community from adopting children and being foster parents? A child in an abusive home will be taken out of that home and sent into foster care, or a child in foster care in an abusive home will be sent to another family. But when there are no families available, these children stay in their abusive situations. Would you rather a child stay in an abusive situation with a socially acceptable couple, or be loved and cared for by a lesbian or a gay couple? Many jobs, Many jobs do not have anti-discrimination laws that protect against sexual orientation and gender preference. And because of this, upon the realization that an employee is gay, bisexual, or transsexual, they have had hours cut and employment terminations. Terminations. There is no law that prevents a job from firing a person based on their sexual preference. Many Western European countries enjoy true equal rights because the law has intervened and the government has intervened and made laws that protect against these rights. As a person who identifies as bisexual, I know firsthand the discriminations that come with being who I am. I have been discriminated by jobs, and by people because of what I feel and how I live. Without a law, these citizens will continue to be treated as second class, will be abused, and there will be a growing intolerance by people who do not agree with their choices. In other words, without a set law, America can never truly be a land of the free. I ask you to act today. Donate to organizations, petition, protest. There are many things that you can do as a single person that will help in the long run. As we saw with the civil rights movement, it's gonna happen. It's inevitable. You'd rather be on the right side of history. I ask you to write to your congressman, sign a petition, and even simply support the companies. Even if you don't believe in the LGBTQ community, support anti-abuse instead of expressing this abuse. Thank you.